This is Shay Monai, and um, you know that this month is actually domestic violence awareness. And for the past couple of days or so, I've really been having it on my heart to share my testimony. Um, Testimony of domestic violence. And even though this month is almost over, we still want people to pretty much just be aware and just know, be cognizant, of your surroundings, of individuals that you're per se with, dating, um, and just pretty much being aware of this matter at all times. Of course, we do know that there's some ladies that has been killed over the past couple of months, um, and it's just nonsense. And something could have been done about it. It may have been a way to prevent that had someone known. So that's pretty much it. I just want to share my testimony with everyone. If you know anyone that may benefit from this video, I ask you now that you would share it, that you would pass it on, so that someone can hear someone else's testimony of overcoming. And so that's pretty much it. Like I said, for the past couple of days, it's been on my heart. So I know someone needs to hear this. And it's not just women. It could be a man, involved in domestic violence. So it's not just women. However, I hear of mostly women in these type of situations. So, here goes. Oh, I do want to get something straight because I am married now. So there's no way I want anyone to take the wrong message. My husband that I am married to now, he is well known. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm speaking of him. My husband is Bruce Michael Williams, and no, he has not physically abused me in no way, shape, or form. So I just want to make sure that is clear, because this situation here that I'm about to speak about, it happened maybe about, goodness, I would say maybe about 15 years ago, actually. I've shared my testimony with a few ladies, but I'm really, really, really feeling the need lately to share it a whole lot more, because there are ladies holding this in. They don't know who to talk to. Like myself, I didn't know who to tell, who to talk to about these things. I just thought people was going to just be talking about you and, telling your business to family members or to this one and to that one, and not really help you. And I didn't know how people would look at me and how they would think of me, if I was in a relationship like this. And I was just there. I was in it, so I just did not know how and who to communicate to. But like I said, this did happen maybe about 15 years ago. So the relationship I was in, yes, I was shacking. Maybe about 12 years off and on. We had my first son I had with this man, and there was a time when we got into an argument, and he had been out drinking, he had been out smoking weed, that was his everyday thing almost. And I didn't pay any attention to it too much because I was young. That was my first, per se, love. And man, that I had moved out of my grandmother's house, and we got us a house together, and, everything was just going fine and dandy. Well, the manipulation started, the controlling started. There's times he would leave, take the car, gone all day, come back when he was ready. There was the mental abuse, there was the physical abuse, and it was just emotional, emotional and mental abuse, because that will affect you to a point when you're like, what, I'm tired of this, I'm gone, it's over, I'm not coming back. And then of course things get buttered up, with the sweet talk, and you end up getting back together. But one day he came home after drinking and smoking, and we got into an argument. And I recall being in the bathroom, And he came into the bathroom because I just left out of the room. I didn't want to fuss. I didn't want to argue. And I just went into the bathroom and sat on the toilet and just sat there crying and praying, like, Lord, just deliver me out of this. What is going on? I need to get out of this. This is not working. And he came into the bathroom and he had a gun. And he put the gun to my head. And I mean, a situation like that, you're just sitting there like, oh my God. Like, is he really about to pull the trigger? Or what if he make a mistake? What if he's just so angry, so mad, and he make a mistake and pull the trigger, and he may just be trying to scare me? So all kind of things going through my head. I didn't know what to do. There was no way to just get up and run and leave out of the bathroom. Like, he was kind of by the door, and with me sitting, on the toilet seat and everything. There was no escape. Pretty much the only way I was going to get out of there was in a body bag. But thank Yahweh, for delivering me, for saving me. Thank Him for the angels that He placed around me in that situation. He said a few things here and there, and I just sat there, I guess not knowing whether to scream, whether to cry, or whatever. I just sat there and prayed. And eventually, after he finished fussing and saying, well, he'll do this and he'll do that and all this and all that, he eventually, moved the gun and put it away and things like that. So, I mean, after that happened, I just knew it was time to go. Of course, I ended up getting out and I ended up leaving. I was actually I was maybe about 8 months pregnant when I actually decided, look, I'm tired of this, I'm fed up, I'm pregnant, I'm not about to let all that affect my child and affect me emotionally, because I know that can harm my child. So 8 months pregnant, y'all, I packed and I called some relatives. They came and helped me, and I was able to actually leave. And I'm hearing some stories now. Everybody's not able to do that. I just heard a story about how a young lady, she was holding this in. Nobody knew what was going on, and her significant other was abusing her, beating her, and just all these emotional, abusings. And she left. And she went back to get her furniture. And he killed her and shot her when she went back to get her furniture. So even with that, I'm just grateful that even when I went back, now mind you, I went back to get my furniture, but he had another woman there. Like, let me put another woman up in here so when she do come back, she can, she can see I have another woman here. It didn't faze me. I didn't trip. Look, let me get my stuff. You stay out of my way, and we're going to keep it at that. So I ended up getting my belongings, and like I said, I did leave. Lo and behold, some years later, we did reunite, and we ended up getting back together. Of course, there was the, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to cheat, I'm not going to, we're going to make this work, for our son and for each other. And ladies, right there, gentlemen as well, please don't stay in a relationship just because of the children. There are women these days going crazy, even if they were in an abusive relationship and their man has left them and they are cheating, or they just want someone else. Please don't make that mistake of just wanting to stay in a relationship because of the children. Our Father, He is our Father. He loves us. He will be a father to that child. He would help you with those children. He will send people in your path that will help you with your children. So don't let that stop you from getting help. Don't let that stop you at all, because God will make a way. And that used to be my problem. Like, oh man, what I'm gonna do? I can't go back home. I don't want to go stay with my moms. I don't want to go stay here. I don't want to go stay there. I'm a grown woman. Maybe we can work this out. All kind of things you pretty much try to think of to give you a reason to stay. And it's not cool. First of all, we were shacking. So that's an open door right there for the enemy to step in, because we shouldn't have been living together, and we wasn't even married. Now, yes, there are some married individuals that go through domestic violence as well. Do they have the right to hit on their spouse? No, they do not. There's no excuse. And like I say, there's the women hitting the men, and there's men hitting women, the pushing, the shoving, the cheating. All that has to do with emotional abuse. It has to do with abuse. And, so like I say, years later, we did end up getting back together. And there was a time when we got into an argument, and we was fussing, but there was no physical abuse. We were fussing and we were yelling, and he picked up something like, oh, I'll throw this at you, and I picked up something like, oh, if you do, I'm gonna throw this. So we were back and forth, even though we didn't actually throw anything, or even though we didn't actually hit each other. The damaging part of that, what hurt me so much, was that my 8-year-old son was there, and he witnessed that. He heard that. He heard mama and daddy fussing. He heard mama and daddy cussing. He heard mama and daddy, oh, I'm going to hit you with this, and I'm going to break this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And that affected him so much. It affected him so much, I kid you not, like years down the line, when I was sitting down talking with my son, and I asked him, anything going on? Mama need to apologize for anything? I need to ask for forgiveness for anything? And he told me about this situation that had happened when his dad and I were fussing. And years later, he brought that up and cried. He sat there and he cried. And he told me about how that affected him. And for that to affect my son, that hurt more than any argument. That hurted more than the time when he put the gun on my head. My child, my son, to have witnessed that, even though we had hit each other. And that hurt him, and it was emotional abuse to him. So this is why I tell people, you don't just stay in a relationship just because of the children, because the children are watching. They see that. They hear that. You don't want that pattern to continue on when they grow older, and then they have a family, and they feel that, hey, I gotta get angry, and that's the only way I'm a just pretty much let out my frustration is through, abuse, through fussing, through hitting, through cussing, and that's not the way. So, and actually, I can tell this testimony over and over and over, but the part that gets me really emotional is when I talk about my son. Because as far as the relationship itself, I've forgiven. And that is the best thing you can do once you go on you have to forgive. I can just tell you, that'll be another video, because I overcame that as well. And I forgave, and when I was able to forgive and ask God to help me forgive, that is when the healing process began. The healing process was a long process, but it was a process well worth it. And it was just well worth it. So, like I said, when we did get back together and had that incident where we fussed, and that was in front of our son, I'm like, you know what? That's it. I called the cops. The cops came over to the place where we were living at the time, and they ended up taking him because of the situation that was going on. That was it. That was it. So I just wanted to share this testimony, and the way that I really knew that I needed to do this video tonight is because about 2 days ago, when I woke up and this was heavy on my heart to do the video, I hadn't seen my ex that I'm speaking of in, oh my goodness, over a year. Actually, last time I saw him was at our son's funeral. But for me to all of a sudden see him on the same day that I thought about doing this video, okay, like, what more confirmation do I need? So I just had to get this video done. If anyone needs to contact me, I am a domestic violence advocate. So I have resources. If anybody needs any resources, we can get them the resources that's needed. We can pray, we can strategize and get this situation resolved. My email address is allthatcreations@gmail.com, which is ALLTHATKREATIONS@gmail.com. So, just give that email address. Anybody can contact me that way. If I need to give my phone number out and they actually want to converse, hey, I don't have a problem with that. I'll do that. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can actually type in Shay Monai, which is SHAY Monai, MONAI, and my page is going to come up on that. I have all that creations page as well, but that's more for the invitations and the party favors and everything. But Instagram is all that creations, so it's at ALLTHATKREATIONS. So I just want to thank you all for listening, and I pray that I could be a blessing to somebody. Good night.